in the fourth quarter to overcome a 22-point deficit to end up winning this game by 4 points. Coby White scores his career high in this game. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it all down. But you know what we got to do first? We got to play that winning intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, more importantly than that, make sure you guys are following the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. And let's go ahead and get into the content. Let's go ahead and get into this dub. The Chicago Bulls pull out a on-the-road victory against the Sacramento Kings to start off their 4-game road trip with a victory, a comeback victory at that. This was a big game by both DeMar DeRozan and Coby White as they combined for 70 points in this game. Did they combine for? Keep in mind, the Bulls only scored 113 points. Coby White leads the way, getting his groove back. 14 of 19 from the field, 5 of 9 from three-point range. He also chips in 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 37 points. Did Coby White score in this game? And then you have DeMar DeRozan going 10 of 12 in this game, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 11 of 12 from free throw range, 4 assists. 4 assists, 2 steals in this game. One of those steals being what helps the Bulls seal this victory. 33 points from DeMar DeRozan in this game. Nikola Vucevic also chips in another double-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds. And then Ayo Dosunmu. I really want to spend some time here talking about Ayo because while DeMar and Coby are going to get a lot of the accolades, especially for how they played in the second half of this game, it was really Ayo Dosunmu who really carried the team scoring-wise in the first half of the game. Until Coby White got going scoring in the second quarter, really Ayo Dosunmu was the more consistent Bull throughout the whole first half. He scores 20 points, going 9 of 15 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range, 5 assists in this game, 2 rebounds, 1 steal from Ayo Dosunmu. And then the Bulls only, in a game where the Bulls have 11 total points off the bench. That's it. 4 points from Andre Drummond, 6 rebounds from him as well, 6 points from Julian Phillips, who leads the Bulls in scoring off the bench in this game, and then only 1 point from Onuralp Bitim in this game as well. He goes 0-3 from the field. He makes a free throw. He does have one assist, 1 rebound, 1 block shot. But that was it scoring-wise. Javon Carter plays 11 minutes, goes 0-3. I don't know why Billy Donovan keeps playing him. I would have much rather see Dalen Terry. I think he would have been better defensively and in transition in this game. But with that said, the Chicago Bulls come into Sacramento, yes, go down, give up big scoring runs. They gave up a huge third quarter, 35 points scored in the third and the first quarters by the Sacramento Kings, but the Bulls are still able to pull this one out. They only allow one player to score over 20 points. That's De'Aaron Fox. He scores 20. The next closest was Domantas Sabonis in this game, who was in foul trouble throughout most of the game. The refs gave him a little bit of bail. He scores 18 points and 21 rebounds from Domantas Sabonis. And the Bulls are able to pull out a victory in which the Sacramento Kings almost led in every major statistical category. The Bulls got out-rebounded 51-32, almost by 20 in this game, and we still won the game. Bench points, they won. The Sacramento Kings won that 38-11. They won that. Now, we did win points in the paint 54-50. Second chance points, they won that 24-12, doubled us in that. We had more fast break points, 12-8. But a lot of the things in this game, the Sacramento Kings led throughout most of this game, but the Bulls, through determination, heart, and execution, were still able to pull out this game and pull out a victory that the Bulls really did need, right? If you to start off your road trip with this type of win, it helps build the confidence a little bit, right? And, the Bulls got to keep playing well, but how they played in the second half of this game as a team is the way to unlock some things for this Bulls team. Now, are they going to be able to do it consistently? That remains to be seen, and we'll see if they're able to do that. They now move to 3 games below 500, and I say that just to give the record. I don't know if this team is going to get to 500 or above 500 by the end of the season. They would have to go on an amazing run to do that. But considering how close they were to the Atlanta Hawks, right? They had a 2-game lead over the Hawks, who I don't think the Hawks played tonight. I could be mistaken on that. And if they don't play tonight, the Bulls now will have a 2.5-game lead above them, with a chance to push it a little bit further. So, we'll see if the Bulls can continue to do that. But the story of this game deserves to be Coby White, who's been on a slump, right? I talked about it on today's daily episode. While he's still been scoring pretty solidly, right? With that, his shooting splits have been completely in the toilet. Like since January 25th, he's shooting the ball 41% from the field and 33% from three-point range. He really overcomes most of that in this game, and we got to see if he's going to be consistent. He played really well in the last game as well down the stretch of that game. So Coby White's starting to build up. Maybe that's that endurance, whatever it is, but starting to get back to the player that we know that we need Coby White to be if we want to win and be in a lot of these games. So you got to give him credit for that as well. Really enjoy seeing the way that the Bulls team came together today. They came together for a victory against a team that, listen, they were outmatched. The Sacramento Kings are a better team than the Chicago Bulls. It just is what it is. You can take issue with it for whatever that's worth, but at the end of the day, the Kings are a better team and they play in a better conference. But the Bulls did a lot of the things that we talked about, right? I talked about in the both the pregame show and in the daily episode today, just how bad the Sacramento Kings are defensively. Yes, they're averaging almost 119 points per game, but they're giving up 117 points per game. So the Bulls, when they were able to push the pace, get out in that fast break, attack the Sacramento Kings defense before I had a chance to set up, was always going to put them in the best situations to try to win this game. And they did that down the stretch of this game. And Coby White was great. Him and DeMar were really what saved this game for the Chicago Bulls. And like I said, Coby White, who didn't score at all in the first quarter of the game. Now he did go on, I think, to score 14 points in the second quarter of this game, if I'm not mistaken, 13 points in the second quarter of this game. And then when you look at the second half of this game, Coby White scores 24 points in just the second half, and DeMar DeRozan scores 28 points in just the second half. They carried this team. And it's funny that I named today's daily episode about Coby White and DeMar DeRozan being the workhorses for this team, and that's what they were for today. And that's not to say that other players didn't contribute. Like I said, Io, especially in that first quarter, really carried the Bulls scoring-wise, right? 9 points scored by him. He scored more, almost as many field goals as the whole entire Bulls team in the first quarter of this game. But when we needed it, Coby DeMar really stepped up in that second half for the Chicago Bulls to help close out this game big time for the Bulls. And the Bulls are able to get a victory against a team in the Sacramento Kings that not a lot of people had them pegged to beat. And so, the Bulls move on now. They still got a difficult schedule ahead of them. We face Utah on Wednesday, so we get a day off for that. We'll see then. That's another team that has matched up really well against the Chicago Bulls, are really well coached. That's another deep team. But the Utah Jazz are another team that's below 500. They're the only team, matter of fact, that we face this week with a below 500 record. So how the Bulls manage that game can really kind of set the tone for the rest of the week for the Bulls. We finish out the week with the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Clippers before we get a day off and then face the Dallas Mavericks next Monday. So, really tough schedule here for the Bulls. These next 7 games, now 6 games that the Sacramento Kings game is done, are going to be really important for the Bulls to kind of keep that separation in the Eastern Conference. And we'll see what they're going to do, man. We'll see what they're going to do. And I really enjoy the way that this team played ball today. Was it perfect? Hell no, it wasn't. But they learned from their mistakes, and I got to give credit for Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan, not a great game. He coached a solid game today, right? And they adjusted pretty well at times in this game. They fell some short in some things that I would like to see them kind of adjust to defensively more early, but they did it. And even Billy Donovan kind of using his timeouts correctly and trusting his players not to keep getting in foul trouble, things like that. Billy Donovan coached a pretty solid game, trusting Ernest team, trusting Julian Phillips. In the fourth quarter, we saw Julian Phillips. He even got a bucket in the fourth quarter. So, Billy Donovan may be starting to learn and understand. I know it's kind of forced upon him right now because of the injuries that we have, but hopefully this also wakes up Billy Donovan to why it is important when you can and when it makes sense to play your young guys, get them some reps out there and let them develop in the NBA, actual NBA games. So let's hope that continues, but this is a really good win, really big win, and I'm glad that the Bulls were able to pull this one out. Coby White scores a new career high in this game. So shout out to Coby White for just 37 points in this game and all needed. And Coby White, once again, when he gets in the rhythm, it's so beautiful, right? And when he hit that spin move on Harrison Barnes, you kind of realize, hey, Coby's cooking. He had a couple of heat checks that he missed, but outside of that, you saw that Coby White understood, hey, maybe my shot, my 3-ball isn't falling the way I want it to. I'm still going to use that because I'm still hitting enough of them, but I'm going to take these players off the dribble. I'm going to try to get to the lane. Some really good no-look passes to Io. He had another one to Julian Phillips. Julian Phillips, gets fouled on. I think he got fouled, or it was stolen, but really amazing pass there. And Coby White's progression as a point guard, the point guardsmanship Shout out to Big Dave on that. That's been growing for Coby White all this season. Is continue to be evident in games like this when he steps up majorly for the Chicago Bulls. So let's go ahead and get into your guys' comments. So let's see how you guys are feeling about this game. We got Shay first up, says, happy we won this game, but we have to realize that rebounding is a team thing. That's a fact, right? Rebounding is definitely a team stat, and it's something that you have to do and attack as a team if you really want to stay in some games. Rebounding is one of those stats that can get you in a game that you have no business being in. If you're able to rebound, able to get second chance points, it can really do wonders for you as a team, but you have to do that as a team, right? And so, hopefully the Bulls continue to see that, and they continue to develop that on them as well, and things ain't done yet. We got Benji in the building, says, boy, I tell you, when we're down 21, I thought this was a game. Great win. Coby breakout game, hopefully. Well, breaking out this slump, right? Coby's had some great games this season, just really putting the team on his back. And, when a player goes through a slump like Coby White has been going through, sometimes you need this type of game. And I say it started off really last game, right? I got to give credit for how Coby White even played in that last game against Milwaukee. You started to see him coming out of that shooting slump, and it really kind of all came together in this game. Let's hope it continues over this road trip. We're going to need every bit of that scoring that we get from Coby White. We're going to need every bit of it, Benji. I'm not going to lie. This is from Shay. Everyone, whoever gave up on Coby White because of that slump, he just shows you why he's the next coming of an all-star. There's been a lot of people that have said, oh, well, Coby's clearly, this is why Coby needs Amar. This is why Coby needs Zach. And that both things can be true, right? Coby isn't much like with Zach, right? He's not a one, and that's perfectly fine. He hasn't shown that yet, but Coby is a building block for this team, and he's a player that does not back down, and he also is a solid passer. His basketball IQ and those handles are all really good. He doesn't make some of those mistakes like a Zach LaVine makes in the fourth quarter. Again, not trying to compare the two players. I'm just saying that Coby, as a point guard, you trust his decisions that he's going to make. That doesn't always mean he's going to have to score in crunch times of games, but you trust his ability to make the right decision, put other players in position. And that's something that's really good to build around when you have that. And in Billy Donovan's system, having a point guard that can play at that level, it helps a whole hell of a lot as well. We got Patch in the building, says the Heart Attack Bulls make a comeback, but that's what a hard fought win we got. Yeah, listen, that's the team. That's what this team is this season. It's not going to change. It's always going to be a team that frustrates us, makes us happy, shows some really good, aspects of them, and, falls short sometimes as well. Let's Talk Bulls says, leave it to the Bulls to pull it off. Gotta love Coby White when he's playing with confidence. Let's see red. Completely agree with you, bro. Soul Juicy says, let's go. That's a username there, my guy. That was a choice. That was definitely a choice. Here for that tremendous gritty win. Go Bulls. See red. How you're well, bro. Hope you're well. I'm good, Andrew. Good, Andrew. Glad to see this team get wins. It's always good to see the Bulls get victories. My man Coby and DeMar saved his facts. Coby and DeMar cooked in that second half of the game. Really kept the Bulls in that game. King Kofu, haven't seen you around in a while, brother. Says, what up, Haize? That was a game. Hell of a comeback. Defense was on point in the fourth. Debo and Coby did the damn thing. Good win tonight. No notes on that one, bro. No notes. Completely agree with you on that one. Let's see. Rob says, hell yeah, big win and comeback. This team, and that's the thing that always comes back with the Chicago Bulls team. We know what they are capable of, right? We've seen it in smaller doses all throughout the season. And hopefully the front office, what they take and learn from this more than anything is just learning that you need to support this better, right? We have some major flaws on this roster that we've had for years and years at this point. And hopefully that, you start building this roster and looking at some of the things that we've been missing and really focus on finally getting some more rim protection, getting some more size, getting some more depth at certain positions. But, that's a story for another day. We'll cover that in the off season, but hopefully that comes along for the Chicago Bulls team. And this front office kind of better supports the players that they have on here that are performing well for the team. Let's hope that that's the case. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. It shows Demonis is the key to that team. Glad we took that Fuker out. That's funny. I mean, Sabonis is a big part of that team. I still think De'Aaron Fox, what he's able to do both defensively and offensively, is kind of the engine that makes that thing go. But Sabonis is such a big part of it as well. Such a big part. So career high from Coby from Ali Falk. Yep, career high from Coby. He passes his career high, which he actually set in the Sacramento Kings arena the last time he set his career high. So it's all like poetry. It rhymes. Shout out to George Lucas. I was hoping Coby dropped 40 on you haters. Rebounds killed us. I saw slim to none defense adjustments. Felt like Sacramento was hitting us with the same things. You're saying you saw no defensive adjustments from the Kings? Um, I mean, it did feel like they were doing a lot of the same thing. I do think that they started changing the defense in the fourth quarter some, but the Bulls definitely made adjustments defensively. Definitely. What did I say, Haize? Drive home safely, Chicago. That's funny. DK in the building says, CMF in red. Shout out to you. Jonathan Edges says, you owe us one. No, no, no. I didn't say that was not the deal. I said I do 2 tequila shots if we won by double digits. We didn't. You don't get no tequila shots. Coby White is the real deal, my goodness. If he keeps developing, you get Io further along and Pat further along. That's a pretty good young core. Add in Dalen and Phillips. Wow. I mean, listen, the Bulls have the potential. Now, we still got to see development from a lot of these guys, right? Coby still has things that he definitely needs to work on, right? Io as well. I think I love what Io has turned into and how he's really turned into a two-way player that you can bet on and that you can feel safe in for sure. But then also, Dalen and Phillips have definitely showed some things. P. Will, let's see what P. Will can bring. I think P. Will in December, if P. Will can make who he was in December the base of how he's going to be able to perform, he's going to have a whole hell of a long career as well. But, having Peter Patton, having the player development department is going to be important for those guys as well. So let's see. Haven't seen the King of the Fourth like that in a while. It's been a while, Keanu. It's been a while for sure that we've seen the King of the Fourth. And, that moniker for DeMar was always kind of that one season, right? But DeMar is still a killer. He's one of the most steady and consistent players with the Bulls. He still has some bad games, but what you typically know what he's going to be. You typically know what he's going to be. Melvin says, I thought it was over in the third quarter when the Kings were hitting all those threes. I don't know what to expect from this team anymore, bro. This team confuses me. Well, listen, they're an inconsistent team with no identity. And so that's going to be the thing, right? They don't hang their hat on defense. We can be really good defensively, but we don't hang our hat on defense, right? And one thing with this team tonight, right? Us and the Kings both made 11 3-pointers. So usually that math problem that exists for the Chicago Bulls, they didn't have that problem tonight. And that's in part to Coby White being back in rhythm, going 5 of 9 from 3-point range, right? That helps that. So, a lot of times when you look at how the Bulls have played over the last couple of games, the Bulls haven't been able to match or keep it close enough in the 3-point game. We talked about it. I think it was the Bucks game. They outscored us by 30 points just from the 3-point line. So, or was that the Cavs game? It was one of those games. So when you have that type of discrepancy from 3-point, it's really hard to overcome that unless you're playing amazing defense and super efficient offense. So the fact that the Bulls are able to kind of keep that 3-point battle close enough, right, to where it's not this huge discrepancy between the two teams, it really helped the team keep pace, and now their defense can be more impactful because you're not having to overcome 3 for 2, right? So that definitely helped the Bulls in this game a lot as well. The bench was trash. The bench 11 total points off the bench today. That's not typically going to cut it. How did that just happen? Heart and determination, sheer will, and ignorance. That's what it came down to. This Bulls team did not go quietly into the night. And that's what you want to see from this type of team, right? For a team that is, doesn't have some of the top end talent of these other teams, you're going to have to fight as a team. You're going to have to play hard. You're going to have to go after the 50-50 balls. I love how many offensive fouls that the Chicago Bulls drew in this game as well. Those are things that you're going to need to see the team do. Zayover says, I'm not going to lie, Haize. I turned the game off at the third quarter, came upstairs and saw the 2-point lead and was blown away by what I was seeing when we came back. See Red Bulls Nation. Listen, and nobody can blame you for that, right? Like, with the way that this team has played at certain times over the season, I can't blame anybody who saw that lead that the Sacramento Kings had in the third quarter and said, it's over with, it's done. But that's why, making, and even me, I usually, when the Bulls are getting completely their asses kicked, I come down here and I start making the thumbnail for the post game show. And so I was like, let me go make the thumbnail. And as soon as I got up to say I was gonna go make the thumbnail, Coby hit a 3 or something. I was like, okay, wait a second, I'm gonna get up in a second. I go out after the next commercial, and then the Bulls just kept marching back, and I was like, you know what? It's crazy. It's crazy. So then I had to bring the laptop upstairs so I can make the thumbnail while I was watching the game. Listen, if you're a creative, always have a PC and have a laptop that you can both do your creative work on. There's just a little inside baseball there, right? Inside podcasting, I should say. So like I have a super high end well, it was actually relatively inexpensive, but a laptop with a super good graphics card in it, so I can do all my creative work. But I also have my custom built PC that I do most of my creative stuff on. And so now that I have that, so it makes it easy, so I can get the same level of performance. Y'all don't care about that. Well, I'm talking about laptops and shit. This shit don't matter. Damn, Haize, you hit a thousand. Take a break, my guy. Nah, good win though, Coby the man. I mean, I was supposed to take a 3-day break, but it's in my soul, bro. I can't. I don't know how to take a break. Johnny Rico says, what a game. Iowa in the first half, then Coby and DeMar. Great last quarter. Starters balled out, minus Vooch. Dalen Terry should have played over Carter. C-Red. Well, no, listen, don't slander Vooch. Yes, he didn't have the statistical output of the other starters, but Vooch played a big role in this game today. Like, when you look at Vooch and some of the defense he played at times, right? Now, the Bulls put him in bad. He kept getting switched on guards. Now, he's just not equipped for that. Billy Donovan got to figure out something with that, or like I said, they got to figure out something with the roster. But in a game where we got out rebounded the amount that we did, 51-32, those 13 rebounds by Nikola Vucevic are all important. That's still that block that he got. He hit a big bucket as well when we needed one. Yeah, he went 4 of 13 from the field. He needs to play better than that. That's not to say that he doesn't need to perform better, because he absolutely does. But Vooch definitely helped contribute to this win, especially in a night where we didn't have any type of production off the bench, not meaningfully. Rob Antol says, that's why you play the whole game and never give up. Yeah, right. And that's why so often I talk about the body language of this team when it seems like they gave up on themselves. Because when they do that, you already have to overcome a deficit, and you've made that even harder on yourself by the body language, right? By giving up, getting down on yourself. This team didn't go away today, and you gotta love that. Shay in the building says, these MFers actually went down by 23 in the third quarter and came back and won the game. Ain't that some bull? Listen, it's fun. It's definitely a fun game to watch. Joe the Blacksmith, Bulls won playing checkers while the Kings were playing chess. Coby and DeMar were incredible. It was. Proud of you, Bulls fans. The front office and owners treat y'all like trash, but you're always loyal. Salute to some of the realest fans in sports. Shout out to you, Sacktown. Y'all remember when Sacktown came in here the last time we played, and he was trying to troll. And now look, we actually have Sacktown is actually supports, man. And shout out to you, Sacktown. Definitely appreciate you, brother. I even pulled up on one of your streams, man. How did we win this? By pure ignorance and tequila. That's what I said. I love it when DeMar plays like he got child support to pay. Coby making sure we don't lose faith neither. Well, Coby, I would say this. Coby needed this game, right? And that's not to take away from what Coby's done throughout most of the season, basically since towards the end of November. But he was going through a slump. And sometimes as a player, you need a big game to remind you and kind of get you back in rhythm. And he built off what he did in the Milwaukee game, and he's continued going. So, hopefully this is something that Coby now can use to ride out. We got 21 games left now on the season. Let's hopefully that he's going to ride this out the last 21 games. And Seaway's World said I had a good feeling. You did say that. You did say that. What skill won't do, heart will. That's such a crazy quote that I came up with. That's crazy. I be knowing. Hey, shout out to Seaway's World. John Simmons in the build, or Joshua Simmons says, Io being a second rebounder and playing like this needs to be studied. With shout out Acme. Well, I mean, shout out to Garpax as well, right? Like they drafted him. And so, when it comes to this, and they got to give credit to Billy Donovan, because we brought in Lonzo. Coby White was injured initially to start off that year. When Coby White came back, Billy Donovan never hesitated playing Coby. Right now, his role was inconsistent. There were some nights where he just didn't get the shots, but Coby White learned how to impact the game of basketball without getting shots through that time. And so just the confidence, like with Coby White only scoring 9 points last year, having some of his worst splits shooting-wise, it would have been easy for Billy Donovan to come in this season and be like, hey, Coby, Coby's going to come off the bench for us again. But he trusted Coby, right? And the growth and the maturity that Coby White started showing towards the end of last season, he rewarded that. And I got to give credit where credit's due. I'm still not a Billy Donovan guy. I still wouldn't mind if Billy Donovan got fired tomorrow. I wouldn't give a shit. But, you got to acknowledge when a coach realizes talent in somebody. And, it is what it is, man. This is what I want this season to be about. Young guys have shown enough, retool around them and get whatever you can for the vets. Maybe keep one around and build around them, plus watch them develop. Whether you're going to have more than one vet on this team, because even if you do trade, let's say DeMar does walk, Andre Drummond does go, you keep Alex Caruso, you're then going to have to fill out your bench with some veteran pieces. So you're going to have some vets still on this team. Good to be back. Always good games in the Kings versus Bulls. I'm still riding the high from Fox game winner last season. LOL, y'all squad better keep pushing. Bulls fans deserve it. We do, man. And it's up to this front office to really continue putting the pieces out there that's going to help this team win. And it's up to the front office to do that. And let's see what they do this offseason. Rob in the building says this could have been what the team looked like at the start of the season if they would have played the young guys more. Well, listen, but I understand that, right? When you talk about, look at what we had. Torrey Craig is still going to deserve to be played over some of these guys when you're trying to win basketball. Patrick Williams, you're going to play Patrick Williams. He's one of the young guys, so whatever there, right? But as you go on to the season, and when you lose a Zach LaVine, when you lose a Torrey Craig, when you lose a Patrick Williams, that opens up roles. And there's no point in having young guys on the back end of your roster that, yeah, ideally you want them to play a bigger role years into the future, but you have to start setting that foundation now. And I would say this, the way that Julian Phillips played today, again, should show Billy Donovan and the front office, hey, you got something in Julian. Now, we'll see what that ceiling ends up being, but you have something in Julian because he has it, right? Julian doesn't back down from the moment. And again, I'm not going to get into the comparisons of Julian Phillips and Patrick Williams. I'll let y'all do that in the comments. But the one thing that Julian does have that Patrick doesn't or hasn't shown consistently is that Julian doesn't shy away from the moment. He doesn't hesitate to shoot. He doesn't like he's almost young enough to where he just doesn't give a damn, right? Yeah, I'm a rookie, but y'all about to have to stop me at this line, right? I'm about to come to the rim. So pause there. But yeah. So really love that to see that from Julian Phillips. Coby White got out of his shooting slump and got a career high in scoring. DeRozan making crucial buckets along with Io and Vooch helped the team get this win. Everyone deserves their props tonight. Facts. This was a good team win, especially down the stretch. Now, scoring-wise, Coby and DeMar carried this team, but other players definitely made choices and helped this team be in a position to win this game. Melvin Winhorn says, I'll give Billy Donovan credit this time, but please stop playing Javon Carter over 10 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes is fine. Listen, at this point, I would love to see Dalen Terry play because I know Javon Carter is a better shooter, right? He hasn't really been great for the Chicago Bulls, but what Dalen Terry brings in defense, being able to force the fast break and his passing in the fast break, I think are kind of more, depending on who you have out there with him, it can benefit the team more than the theoretical defense and three-point shooting that Javon Carter is supposed to bring, but hasn't really brought consistently for the Chicago Bulls this season. That's my personal opinion. Not saying that that's fact, but that's my personal opinion. And let's see if it can continue for the team, man. Archangel in the building says, it's so strange that Billy's playing Bateem and Julian, but not Dalen even for a minute. What's up with that? Dalen was doing well, and then he disappears from the rotation. Javon, but not Dalen. Why? If I had to go to anything, maybe it's the experience because you have Dalen, Ernulop, and Julian out there playing minutes, and that's a lot of – I'm sorry, I said Dalen. You have Julian and Ernulop Bateem playing minutes, and so maybe you want some veteran in Javon Carter out there with them. That's just me trying to add logic. It's not saying that that's what I would do. It's just me trying to add logic to it. So maybe that's why. Because playing two rookies and 1 second-year player in Dalen, Julian, and Ernulop, that especially in crunch time, the Bulls have been in so many crunch time games. Maybe Billy Donovan and the coaching staff are just looking at that and saying, we like these guys, but that's maybe too much youth and inexperience out there. Again, just trying to add some logic to what Billy Donovan, which is already dangerous. Adding logic to what Billy Donovan does already can make your head explode, but maybe that's the logic in that. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I saw my auntie Goon. Shout out to Goon. Says, hey, my nephew, I miss you. I miss you too, auntie. Glad I've been seeing you over in the Cognac Boys chat, but you ain't really been over here. Like, I ain't seen no comment. I ain't got no voicemail yet. I'm feeling a little unloved, auntie. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm feeling a little unloved, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see what else we got. We got D Michi. You don't know what you don't want to know what I thought your username was because I was about to say pause. But all right, crazy hours after teams never live up to their reputation against us. The Kings are the worst free throw shooting team in the league, yet didn't miss free throws until the very end. Listen, I don't know what to say. I get off work at 11. Was good to watch the end of the game. Well, I'm glad you got to see the end of the game. Your guy Levine is 10 years younger and he always injured. Age is just a number. We're not talking about age as far as injured. Understand the context of what's being said, V Rod. It's understanding the context of DeMar's older. He has started declining and he's playing the most minutes in the NBA, second most minutes in the NBA. So, like the Milwaukee game, you saw a result of DeMar DeRozan and the minutes that he's been playing in that game, right? So, DJ Lovelace, bro, every time you talk basketball, we all get stupider for it. Like, we all just get stupider for it. Like, at this point, you don't ever have anything positive to say about the team. Like, we can win a game by 50 points and be like, yeah, you know what? We should have, why didn't we sign Jesus when we had a chance? Jesus could have came in here and he could have parted that defense. We could have went right in there and dunked the ball. Like, shut the hell up, bro. Coby and DeMar took off. Yes, the big part of the Bulls winning this game, especially in that second half. Damn, this team is bipolar. I mean, it's been that way for years. It's been that way for years. I just saw on Twitter on the Kings page saying that the Kings let a role player get their career high. LOL, they were referring to Coby. Well, you know what? That not everybody is as tuned in with. And granted, if you don't know, right? If you didn't know Coby White, you didn't watch every game, right? Chicago Bulls game, and you went and looked at Coby's career statistics, because that's probably what a lot of them are doing. They're going and looking at what Coby White's stat page says. You would look at that and say those are role player numbers. So you listen. I'm just trying to again add some logic to it. Don't agree with it. You should just stay in tune. But hey, some people only pay attention to their team, and that's just what it is. Sacktown says, really blows my mind that somehow the Bulls are the ninth seed. There's no way you shouldn't be top six, just being honest. Don't kill me. Nah, I mean, and that's the thing. You got to watch this team day in and day. There's a lot of reasons why we're not top six. A lot of reasons why. I would love to be able to say we should be top six, but yeah, I can't say that. Can't say that. Vooch got tired of getting dunked on. Hey, listen, I'll say this: Vooch has been pissed lately. Vooch has been funny to watch lately because Vooch has just been slowly unlocking the anger. Like we're gonna soon see one of those Vooch dunks where he then does the pelvic thrust on who he dunked on, and that's when you always know Vooch is at his best. Well, I kind of miss you snapping after we lose a game that we played horribly. You cracked me up. Good win, Chi-Town. Appreciate that, boss. Glad to have you in here. All right, I'm gonna skip down a little bit, man. Shy Roney says, "Hey, you be fresh as fuck with the Bulls." Listen, it's funny as hell because like I literally have like 5 boxes of Bulls and Bears and sock shit coming over the next couple. I got a couple of them today. It's a lot of Bulls drip. A lot of Bulls drip. If the Bulls are down by 10 in the fourth, I kind of have some sort of faith in this team. That's funny. I mean, this is a team that does love to come back. They love to come back, right? Agree. This game was definitely needed for Coby, but I wonder when Javon Carter's inspirational game. It's not coming. It's not. Listen, it's not coming. Just like his hair, it's not coming back. It's not. It's not coming back. It's not happening. It's just not happening, bro. It's not happening. Just like V Rod, it's not coming. Like it's never gonna come because you're a loser. Like it's just not you, but it's just not gonna happen. Like Javon Carter is done. He's cooked. He's barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. Man, I know this team won't do it, but man, Alex Sarr looks like a monster. Put him with Coby, and we may have something probably going to be a high lottery pick, though. Oh, he's going to be top three at minimum, probably number 2 overall. So, V-Rod, listen. I understand that nobody loves you, right? Hold on, wait a second. So V-Rod, let's get this straight here for a second. You constantly come in here and you say dumbass shit. I understand that public school failed you, first off. Secondly, I understand that because you had to watch your mama sit there and eat ass for a living and sell feet pics to be able to afford you just to make the minimum lunch requirements at school, and you still didn't have enough money to get lunch each and every day. I understand that. Don't come in this chat trying to talk shit, typing in caps when you ain't nobody closed him up. He still owed you, dumb fuck. Just like he's not as washed up as your mama's pussy, but listen, he's not washed yet. He'll get there. He's starting to be on the decline. Understand the context and conversation that's happening around the game of basketball before you come in here and absolutely get cooked. You chose V-Rod because your mama stuck so much rods up her pussy. Is that why you chose the name V-Rod? Sit down, shut the fuck up, and calm the fuck down and enjoy the goddamn show before you absolutely get fucking cooked like your mama's pussy. Cooked, overdone, and nobody wants it, and it's mad leathery, my boy. Shut the fuck up. Now, with that said, let's get back to the show. Bro, Coby and DeMar had some different type of baller in them tonight. I mean, this is the duo that what they can be, right? But the thing is that you don't want to rely on them just to have to do this. You want to be better supported. And the fact that the Bulls had no scoring off the bench today, it really hurts that, right? So it's good to have this gear that Coby and DeMar to go into. But the problem that's been with the Chicago Bulls team this season is the fact that they have to go to this so often and so much to just be in games. Right now, there's a talent level discrepancy in there that definitely affects that as well. But you want to better support your players so that you don't have to have this type of performances to be able to get to this point. And so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, man. Bro pulled the ass from Pokemon and started cooking. Oh, see, y'all got to that was Petty Roosevelt. That was Petty Roosevelt. So now when the hat goes around, Petty Roosevelt's in town. That's all that is, man. How do you think the Bulls are going to perform if they win the play-in to make the playoffs? Because they would be facing the 1 seed. It's not going to go well for them, I wouldn't see. So we'll see. We'll see. We had the ball, Zach, now waiting on the white ball. The white ball. That's crazy. First of all, don't worry about that. Lonzo Ball is not coming back. He's not coming back. So it is what it is, man. V-Rod took damage with that one. No, it's still not as damaged as his mama's pussy. So it's all good, bro. It's all good. Bulls against the spread this year have been near top of the league from the gambling perspective. Have they? That's crazy. That's crazy that the Bulls, with how this season have been towards the top of the league with that. That's crazy. DeMar career high 23,000 point. He should retire. Bull. Listen, I get it why people say that, right? And DeMar said as much that he wants to retire Bull, and we'll see. But I think when you get to the point of the Bulls and DeMar not being close on years or money, that points towards the Bulls hold DeMar at a value contract wise that DeMar doesn't really think is worth is where he's at right now. And so they got to get to that point and see what they can do, man. Imagine getting crossed over and dunked on at the same time. Coby White killed Harrison Barnes. He absolutely cooked him. Go Bulls. Fuck these refs. They almost as bad as Reggie's mom. Oh, well, Reggie's mom was all washed up. That's for damn sure. The Coast, though, the Coast threw the first 3 quarters and tried to turn up in the fourth. That's a wild way. That's not correct, though. That's just not correct. The Bulls actually took the lead briefly in the second quarter, so they didn't coast through the first 3 quarters. Now, they had a bad start to the first quarter. They actually ended that first quarter off pretty strong. They played really well through the second quarter, and then in the third quarter, they got killed. So they didn't coast throughout the first 3 quarters, brother. That's just not what happened. They got into some big deficits, but they didn't coast throughout all 3 of the first quarters. See, what I'm so grateful for your good feelings. Thank you. You definitely deserve as many DeMar side babies as your. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. The Bulls gonna cut Lonzo's salary and trade Zach for salary relief and a couple of decent role players just to keep drumming in DeMar. Well, Lonzo doesn't listen. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you guys. I know some people are still holding out hope. Lonzo Ball is not going to be an impactful basketball player next season, if he does get cleared. So if the Bulls cleared it, that's the right decision. Lonzo isn't going to make an impact next season. And Zach LaVine, I mean, you got to keep in mind, Zach requested a trade, and I don't think they're going to move him this offseason. I don't think they're going to be able to move him to the next trade deadline at the earliest. Now, if they do move him this offseason, that may indicate that they just want to get off his deal. So we'll see what happens with that one. Eating ass is crazy, Haize. Let's start there. I mean, listen, that's what his mama did. I ain't got nothing to do with that. She's the one who likes eating man ass, not me. That's crazy. Haize, you had me dead the other night when you told Buddy his mom was taking 3-point comes. Did I say that? I don't even remember saying that. I literally don't even remember saying that. He said, pussy is beat, grounded, and pounded. That's crazy. The best move the Bulls have made this season was hiring a new player. Facts. And I think I had a video actually titled that, right? That was the best move that the team made this offseason. That was the biggest acquisition that the team made this offseason, was bringing in a player development department. And it's really paying off. When you hear Io talk about how like Peter Patton sends him videos every night on what's a good shot, what's a bad shot. Coby White talked about how Peter Patton helped him with a shot form, and because Coby was such a good shooter since high school, nobody's ever sat down with him and told him things that he can improve on. So that's really paying off big dividends, and we'll see what they do this full offseason with the players as well. First time tuning in, definitely gonna say, well, I appreciate that, brother. We're not your mama's and I'm not talking about your mama, but we're not your daddy's usual sports show. Like you will get flamed around, not you, hopefully, but people will get flamed around here. This was the worst time for Zach LaVine to request a trade. Oh, facts. Listen, Lonzo is gonna be fantastic at high-fiving our players when they get off the court when he heals up, but that's about it. V-Rod's mom puts, whoa, okay, y'all going in on V-Rod's mom. That's crazy. I predict Toby to develop into number one option. He's not there yet, but he will be. Well, here's the thing. Even if he doesn't develop into a number one option, what Coby is and has been this season is more than enough. You want to support that, right? To have a point guard that can average 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I don't think we realize how rare that is. It happens more often now, right? But if Coby White over a full season, right? We know he started off slow this season. He had the slump. He's right around 20 points per game. But if, for example, Coby White was able to average 22 to 25 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game, and he's around a steal per game, that would put him in elite territory. And it's up to him to do that, right? And then also the defense that he's bringing, things like that. So we'll see. Listen, I have high hopes for Coby. Coby's somebody who works hard every single offseason. So I have no doubt he's going to really try to build upon this season and come back next season even better. So if there's one big realistic move that we could do in the offseason, who would you want us to sign and get rid of? Ooh, that's a great question. That's a great question. I don't have I'd have to have like a list of like free agents and stuff in front of me. I haven't even started like doing my research into free agency and stuff next year. I probably won't start doing that until the season ends, just with how the Bulls season goes. But overall, I'll say this. I hope that the Bulls can add, regardless if DeMar stays or goes, I want to see them add 3-point shooting for sure. If they can get a 3-and-D wing in here, a true 3-and-D wing, right? And maybe Patrick Williams could turn into that. I have my doubts about Patrick Williams on the wing, but I think that can really help this team as well. And then some shot blocking for sure. Even I got flamed by Haize. He called me a great value pimp. I mean, it's kind of accurate though, brother. It's kind of accurate. I can walk into the room and identify Blue Dream like nothing smoke. Whoa, what? Oh, what? What are we doing? It's crazy that I actually agree with Billy's post-game presser. He had a lot of good looks, but just weren't hitting the shots. Even though we were down, it never felt like we were truly out. Yeah, listen, listen, the thing is, Billy Donovan has his shortcomings as a coach. And that's why I did say before, like if Mark Eversley did leave to the Charlotte Hornets job, which is not open anymore, if he did leave to that and Billy Donovan moved into the GM and we hired a new coach, I wouldn't hate it. Like Billy Donovan, it's the execution. Billy Donovan's so caught up in his system that he just doesn't change things. But Billy Donovan has some good ideas out there, man. Yeah, I grew sour. What are we talking? What? Whoa, what? How did we get here? How did we get here? Coby and I are really meshed well together, like PB and J. My bad, there was fat ass talking about food again. Well, I mean, keep in mind, we saw this before in Io's rookie year. That time period before Lonzo went down, where Io and Coby were coming off the bench, they built up a really good chemistry together. So it shouldn't be surprising to us all. And they both increased their game since then, right? And Coby, Io is in such a good rhythm offensively now, and the defense is still matching that. But yeah, they are a really good combination together. They're really good. Now, I don't know if that's going to be our starting backcourt if we trade Zach LaVine. I don't know if they look to pair some other things, but I tell you what, with the way that Io now is able to be a consistent scorer and he brings that defense, there may be some conversation have about that. And we may have that this offseason where we look at things. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I got to get ready to go do Locked On Bulls. If you guys want to continue the conversation, go ahead over to Locked On Bulls YouTube channel where me and Pat we'll talk about this game as well as some other topics. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you guys are following the channel at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. All this is also in the description because I do talk fast sometimes. So people say they don't catch it. It's in the description, whether you're on the YouTube side or podcast side. But like I like to end everything on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.
I see red.